Hey, this is Sean with the Atlanta Tennis Podcast, powered by GoTennis. Check out our calendar of Metro Atlanta tennis events at letsgotennis.com. And if you know about Bike Friendly Atlanta, you can check them out. Or even if you don't know about Bike Friendly Atlanta, you can check them out at bikefriendlyatl.org. Like and subscribe on social media. They take donations. Dave is doing great work out there. Also, we want to hear your story on the podcast. If you had something exciting happen, you had something fun, something interesting, something ridiculous. Those are always the fun ones too. Give us your ridiculous story. Go to letsgotennis.com/my story. You might even have your story featured on the Atlanta Tennis Podcast. Today, this is the ultimate guide to getting your kids, or you, if you're a beginner, started playing tennis. And today we are answering the question, how to choose your first and maybe second tennis racket. Adults, this is for you as well. You're probably the ones buying the rackets. Whether you're a parent, you're going to buy something for yourself as well. Dave, you and I are going to talk about three main things: cost, quality, and specs. It's like buying diamonds, right? Cut, clarity, and yeah, no, these aren't diamonds. Trust me, this is not that complicated, but you do want to know what you're doing. So cost, quality, specifications. Dave, where do you want to start today?
I think specs.
Okay. Specs. So if I were to say, hey, Dave, I'm got a kid and he's 7 or he's 12, whatever it is, right? I'm going to come in and say, Dave, I went out and I went to Dick's and I bought him a tennis racket. Here you go. Isn't this great? What do you expect me to have just done?
Made a mistake.
I did it wrong, right?
I think that's why I said specs first. Most people don't think about specs, that they're important for a beginner. They're ginormous for a beginner. You're taking an untrained arm, an arm and a shoulder that has had very little. Most people, if they've dabbed a little with a sport, that's okay, but it ain't helped. And it actually can, make them think they know more than they do. And specs being the weight, to me, the weight, not the weight of the racket, but the balance of the racket is more important, I think, above anything. I mean, cost, you can get any racket at any, I don't want to say any cost, but reasonable cost and up. You can find a racket that is not head heavy. And for the beginner intermediate, to me, that is ginormous. You're putting a sledgehammer in a beginner's arm. You might as well go ahead and get a good orthopedic surgeon because they're waiting on you.
should come with a prescription was the phrase I heard about.
It should have an orthopedic surgeon's number right in the throat of the racket.
Hey, sponsorship opportunity, right?
That's exactly right. But yeah, I think anything even balanced or head light, which is in most of the moderate to good rackets. And when I say moderate, you can find top of line rackets on closed out websites all across the websites. Look for that HL or even balance EB or HL, and then you can pick whatever cosmetic you want, head size. I don't want to say it ain't going to matter, but that matters a lot less than the balance of the racket.
All right. So Dave's target is the balance of the racket. My target is always grip size, because
sure,
working with those kids that are not full size.
Sure.
A lot of parents go into Walmart, they grab the $17 racket. They say, okay, well, I got the $17 racket and it's a full size racket. One, it's probably too big. So nobody's doing this specifications analysis. But then again, the kids got this giant grip around it. They got little hands. There's a reason we have the little rackets now.
Right.
And they walk in with these, they just can't use the racket. They're not going to have a good experience. And that was one of the conversations we had with our Technifiber rep, Arturo. And he was talking about the experience, that first time experience, where if the kid just is bringing a wiffle ball bat to the pro leagues, he's just not going to make it. He's just not going to enjoy it. He's not going to have a good time. So Dave, you talk about the headlight. We talk about the weight distribution is one thing. I talk about the grip size a lot. Please ask your coach.
Sure.
what grip size, even if you're getting a full-size racket, figure out
Yeah.
what to do with that grip size. My theory is you can always make it bigger. You can't
Absolutely.
make it smaller in this case,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
And then a conversation we have a lot is about the strings. Now, if you're buying one of those rackets that's pre-strung, that's okay. That's a decent start. I might suggest putting a vibration dampener in it to at least make those 20-pound strings that just got off the shipping container coming across the Pacific. If you know what I'm talking
Yep.
about, we're talking about strings that really aren't designed for your kid, and we don't talk about it enough. Is that first experience of what they're learning? As an adult, you can kind of go, okay, great, this is fine. But every time you, and Dave, do you have the experience as well? You hand a kid or you hand a beginner-ish adult a real quality racket and their eyes get all big.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's we have uh I guess donated rackets like you're talking about, junior rackets that are 25, 26 inches, things like that. And we have somebody come out to, especially wanting to get in some of our beginner classes, we'll let them borrow that racket for a few a few sessions. And then they'll say, well, we'll go buy them one. I go, okay, good. But but this racket you're hitting with is a good quality, like a little small 25-inch graphite racket, got a 4-inch grip. It's a small grip, 4 inches, about as small as you can get. And go look for something with these specs on it. It's a 25-inch, pretty much going to be an even balance racket most of the time anyway. But it's a quality graphite racket, small grip. This will take you for a while. Don't look at another one for a while, and you can find some good deals, But that's bottom line.
And that moves us from the specifications into the quality. One of those specifications is it made of graphite? Is it made of aluminum? Those are your
Right.
two most common things.
Right.
Picture aluminum. It's a tin can.
Yep.
Okay. You're buying a little plastic piece of racket that kind of works to get your kids started. Walmart also has the little plastic rackets for adults too. Don't worry, you can go buy a $15 adult sized racket, but you're bringing a wiffle ball bat. Like, just
Right.
please understand that, right? That
Right.
when we talk about those junior rackets, I've seen some 23s made out of graphite. Now,
Yep.
they're
Yep.
$6, so it's probably not the right choice. But
Right.
if you want to throw a bunch of money at a 23-inch racket for the kids, I get it. At least buy some quality. Now,
Right.
cost wise, I just kind of moved into that direction as well. Cost wise, let's go back to a question we ask a lot, whether it's the coaches, whether it's the lessons, the tournament, whatever it is, do you get what you pay for in this case? Sometimes going and finding the most expensive thing isn't always the right answer.
Yeah, I think in the beginning phase, which is more of what we're talking about, I don't mind them giving a little bit of quality for a little bit less of a price, because in the earlier phases, like let's say 8 to 11 years old, you're also going to be switching rackets, every couple of years or so.
At least.
So I'm not so bent on you spending a lot of money knowing that 2 years down the road you're going to be getting another one.
Right.
And I don't want to run you out of the business, but these rackets will last a little while longer. I would rather a kid buy a nice graphite racket at 8 or 9, or say 9 or 10 years old, and know that I'll let you play with it till you're 11, even if it's an inch shorter. You're probably going to be still hitting a good ball, even if you go to a 12 and under ball. Yep. So I would rather that happen than for somebody to go buy a Walmart special and that thing's vibrating in their arm and they're getting hit with some kid that's got a graphite racket. It's coming. So, you do kind of get what you pay for.
You do at some level, but again, talk to the coach.
Yeah.
These coaches should know what they're doing. Talk about the cost. I had a conversation yesterday with a parent. She said, hey, it looks like you're handing my kid a full-size racket now. I said, yes, but he's only just now 8, and it is too big for him, but I'm giving him the feeling. So we're in that transition time. I'll let you know when the time is right. I said, I don't want you to go out and spend $200 on a brand new Yonex head. We don't necessarily need that right now. The kid's 8, he's a beginner. Let's work him into it. I said, I'll let you know when the time is right. We have some used full-size rackets with small grips to maybe you're only spending $100. Or
Right.
there's some 26-inch graphite rackets that might transition them into the full size that you might only spend 50 or 60. So we try to help. The coaches try to help in this case. Now, some coaches have a deal. This is the last thing we'll mention. You've got cost, quality, and specification. Go talk to your coach. Find out if your coach can help you buy something. But then also find out, Dave, if you have a deal with Wilson, you got an affiliate with somebody, right?
Sure, absolutely. I can send you somewhere. Now, whether they want to give you a discount or not because of my name or somebody else's name, that's up to them. There are several good racket companies out there. All I tell people is if they back it up for a year, which is normally the guarantee for a racket against manufacturer defects, go with a good reputable company. They'll back it up.
Yeah. And some coaches will have a referral to a pro shop.
Right.
Or for us, we've got some deals on our website. We've got some
Right.
stuff in inventory. A coach might have an old racket you can pick up cheaper
Right.
than going to Walmart and spend $15. As an adult, please don't do that. I mean, if you're just going to go out and bang the ball around and you don't actually plan on getting into tennis and cost is a problem, okay, buy the $15 racket. I still don't suggest you do it because it's not going to be a good experience.
Right.
And at some level, if you buy a decent racket, you might enjoy it and you might want to actually go play with your kid, which to be honest, might be the best thing and the reason we get into it in the first place. Dave, as always, I appreciate it. This has been the ultimate guide to getting your kids started playing tennis. And again, sometimes it's not just your kids playing tennis. You get a chance to go out and play with them as well. So that first racket you buy, the second racket might be the next step up, but we might even follow up with that one on the next episode. So, Dave, I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Have a good day.